Hey writers, happy Tuesday. Today we are going to begin mapping a personal narrative. Today is February 2nd, 2021. So what step did we start yesterday? Yesterday we began step 1 of the writing process, pre-writing. We used a graphic organizer to begin writing the different celebrations from our lives. So we wrote things about maybe Christmas, a birthday. You could have talked about Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve. There are so many different celebrations that you could have written on your graphic organizer that you did yesterday on our brainstorming page. Today, we are going to continue with the pre-writing step, and we are going to again plan and organize our writing. We are going to specifically pick one celebration from our brainstorming page to map out. So let's look what we will be able to do today. Let's read it together on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We will be able to plan the people, setting, and events in their personal narratives by mapping. So we are going to figure out the people, the setting, and the events that happened in our celebrations. And we are going to do that by mapping. So here we have a criteria for success, our CFS, for what our story maps need to include. Our story maps need to include the events that are in order. So it needs to be first, next, then last. So, what is the first thing that our story map needs to include? The events that are in order. So, first, next, then last. The second thing our story maps need to include is a setting that is real. So we need to think of the question, where and when did our story take place? Where and when did our story take place? So far we know that the events need to be in order and the setting is real. And then the last thing that our story map needs to include is real people that were there. So the real people that were at your celebration. So the 3 things again are the events are in order, a setting that is real, and real people that are there. So here is what our map will look like. So we are going to fill out each box. We're going to say what was the celebration, who was there, where did it take place, and then you're going to provide the beginning. You're going to describe the setting and introduce the celebration. You're going to tell me what happened. So what first, next, then, after that, and last, and then how you felt at the end. So this time I'm going to model my personal narrative by completing this map. So let's get started. So here I have my map. The directions read, plan the characters, setting, and events for your personal narrative. So in my writing yesterday, you were asked to star, circle, identify one celebration that you knew the most about. And I know I circled, it was the Christmas that I got to go to Disney. So for information, you could fill out this map however you wanted, but I'm just going to start out with the top. So what was the celebration? It was Christmas. Then who was there? My mom was there. My dad was there. I know Ashley, who's my sister, was there. Austin, who's my brother. Channing, my other sister. And then most importantly, myself. It is really important that you include yourself in the people who are there because this is a personal narrative. It is a true story about your life. So I remember that it was Christmas. That was the celebration. Who was there? I said all the people. They were all real people that were there. And then now, where did it take place? It took place at my house. That is where it took place. So I just filled out this first section, the celebration, the people, and the setting. Now I need to start doing the structure of my actual piece, my writing. So let's look. In our first section, it's asking about the beginning. So describe the setting and introduce the celebration. So it was Christmas Day at my house. So that was introducing the celebration. It was Christmas Day and it was at my house. Okay. Now, what happened at the celebration? So this is when I need to make sure I'm going in chronological order. So let's think. So what was the very first thing that happened that day? Well, if I close my eyes and I'm trying to remember what happened that first thing that day, is I know I opened presents from Santa. That was the first thing that I did. Next, I remember that once I opened my presents, next, I know I got a scooter. I got a scooter from Santa. Okay, so after I got a scooter, I remember, let's see, my mom and dad gave us a gift. And that was they surprised us with the trip to Disney. So I'm going to say, Mom and Dad surprised us with a trip to Disney. Okay, so once we did that, I remember that we had to run and go pack. So I'm going to say, went to pack. We all went to pack. And then the last thing that happened is the next day we left for Disney. Next day we left for Disney. Okay, so far I have my beginning, I have my middle. Now I just need to do the end. So how do you feel at the end? Well, I will always remember the time I went to Disney for Christmas. That is something that I will always remember. So notice I took my time and I answered every section through the mapping process. So I answered my celebration, what it was, the people that were there, they were real people, where it took place, and I had my beginning, my middle, and end. And I used it in chronological order. I went through the day and I didn't skip around throughout my day. So, in a moment, you will be answering some questions in your Google form. Okay, so you'll be answering 2 questions one question. It says, what does a story map need to include? And you are going to click all that applies. So make sure you read each one and notice that it may have a few other things, it may have more than one answer. So it could have maybe 2, 3 answers. We'll see. And notice you have an anchor chart here to help you. All right, friends, I will see you in the next video to explain a little more of what you're going to do for your exit ticket. I will see you then. Bye, guys.